Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Montarctica podcast. In the house, it's just John Hould and I, two of the OGs. It's been a while.
It's been a while, man. Been a while.
John actually texted me this morning and kind of got me fired up, and I went, you know what? Let's do a podcast. Hell with it.
First time we've done it before noon.
For sure. It's not that I haven't had things to talk about or anything. I've just, like you said earlier, life kind of gets in the way and you start focusing some things on other things. And sometimes I start looking back, kind of wondering, is my focus in the right direction or not? Because I've been doing all these other business things, the cell phone repair, and which, don't get me wrong, it makes a little bit of money, but it's not 100% where my heart is, for sure. And then you take other time. I mean, I've been doing a bunch of different stuff, skate camp for kids. That is where my heart is. I enjoy doing that kind of thing.
You string yourself out. String yourself out, and you're like a set line. You catch what you can catch, but you don't catch the majority of what you need to catch.
That's a good point. It's a good analogy, for sure. Because, the biggest thing for me is the way that my brain works. If I don't have 100 different directions that I, like, irons in the fire, I get bored with one thing, and then I'll be like, oh, I want to do this. Or,
I know how your brain works. That's why we're here today.
Yeah, exactly. Well, even with music and stuff, I love playing, and I like playing my acoustic, but then pretty soon I'm like, oh, I want it to be all electric. And then, oh, maybe I'll play bass. What about the drums? Like that. It kind of goes crazy with my mind like that. I literally I've thought, and I've had, whether people say it is or isn't, a lot of people say, they're like ADHD isn't an actual disorder, blah, blah, blah. Well, listen, whatever it is, I deal with it. And I've been called ADHD boy my entire life. Everybody, even my teachers have went.
Guys like you and I, we've been raised to where you just deal with it.
Yeah, you really do. And I've done a bunch of research now, and a lot of people, there are things that can help you focus better.
You can ask my ex-wife. You can ask any mother of my children. And I promise you, they will say, I have that problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me too, and because I can be, and it helps being here and working on my own. That's definitely a lot better than me sitting at a day job all day long and grinding on the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
In here
working
shit
and for nothing.
Exactly. So I can come in here, I can work on a cell phone, then I can go out and, like, skate this little ramp for a minute and get, like, just clear my head, come back in, and then I'm focused again type of thing.
That's how I am with my dog. I have a dog now that has the ability to show me the difference between paying attention and not paying attention.
Yeah.
My dog can be sitting there taking a dump in the morning and a bird flies by and he quits taking a dump because, hey, a bird just flew by.
Yeah.
And
ooh, look, squirrel.
I'm like, no, finish taking your dump. Damn it.
Well, I've been telling you for a while you needed a dog, and it would help you out a bunch. And I said you needed a dog instead of another crazy woman, so that...
I know, and I have a boy dog, too. So his name is the Dude, Jeffrey Lebowski, a.k.a. The Dude.
Yeah, he's a cool dog, too. Except for right now, he's probably running down the alley somewhere.
Yeah, well, but everybody knows him, so...
So it's been a while. The last podcast we did was with your cousin Sam, and it isn't... I want to make these episodes more frequent, and we were doing every Wednesday night, and then we started playing music every Wednesday night, and it kind of got into that, and I really wanted to perfect my music some more, but then it kind of cut out time for the podcast, and I need a pop filter, apparently, because I took mine off.
I hear that, man.
But anyway, and so I took the time off to make more music, and then... like I said, it took away the time of what I had free time for the podcast.
At the detrimental of the podcast.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be. But everybody has a certain amount of free time in their day, so everybody gets 24 hours. What do you do with it?
I'll tell you what I'll do. No, I won't tell you what I do with it. It's a lot. It has a lot to do with why I have to have shoulder surgery.
Yeah, I bet. Sitting on your couch, that's why.
Yeah.
No, and then also here just recently I talked to the guys in the Philippines, Demi, that rock band. Later up, we're gonna play one of their new songs.
Yeah, we just heard that. That's coming up real quick. That's gonna be awesome. Dude, those guys are good.
Out of nowhere, from the first few podcasts, we got recognized by these guys in the Philippines, and they
You mean they got recognized by us?
yeah, I guess it could be that way. No, they're awesome group of guys for sure, and
They send us music, man.
yeah,
It's good.
I've been friends with them on Facebook now for a while, and like you get to know them, in their life, and it's cool. They're dedicated to their craft for sure.
And they're good.
Yeah, and
You'll hear it. You'll hear it. Hang on.
I'm always a huge fan of music. I mean, here a couple weeks ago, I took a trip all the way across the state just to go see one of my favorite
This
bands.
whole thing has been about music.
It has.
This is from the very first one. It's been about music.
It really has. And, a little bit of the comedy sprinkled in here and there. And that's something when I quit my day job almost a year ago now, I was really wanting to do a bunch more
Who
of my
quit
promotions.
first, you or me?
You, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But I wanted to do more promotions, and that's always kind of, not necessarily. I mean, I got friends that are like, oh, you're a good promoter, blah, blah, blah. I know how to put things together, I guess. I don't know how it works in my brain. But then I see, and I'm happy for it, my friends around town putting on other events and stuff, and as they're putting on other events, I'm gladly helping them. And I mean, but then sometimes you get to where you wonder, are you giving away too much of your own craft?
Where do you draw the line?
Yeah, I mean, I seem like I don't know, in my own head.
We're in a small town.
In my own head,
Where do you draw the line
do a lot
with
of
people
things.
that are your friends and family?
Yeah, I do a lot of things because I'm a friendly guy, and I mean, like, even Carol tells me all the time. She's like, "You're just too nice. You do too many things
I
for
hate
too
to
many
massage
people."
your
And
vagina, but
other people get paid for the stuff that I do.
but the things you do for people for nothing are in another town, in another city, are worth thousands of dollars.
It truly is. I mean, even like with the video production that I do and the graphic design and all that. I mean,
Just the knowledge you have, the time you've spent. Have you ever had a job where you blazed the way for somebody and then help them succeed more than you?
oh, for sure.
You help somebody, show them something, and then suddenly they overcome you because you gave them
Gave
the
them
information that you needed or they needed.
Well, and
Suddenly they're the
like I was on the phone with my good buddy Nate Salisbury here a couple weeks ago, whatever. And him and I, the first promotions I ever did was with him. We put on some MMA fights, and they were huge. They went off, but there were a lot of lumps and hiccups and things that we had to learn on our own dollar and how to do differently. And
time is money, man.
And the time that we put in, man. I mean, I was down sitting in Las Vegas, rather than being out at the clubs in Las Vegas. I was on the phone and on my computer with Nate, arranging our first fight. That's where the whole thing came to this. The idea came to fruition. And we decided to start putting it together. But now, and the biggest thing for me, I'm happy to see anything happen in our small town. Period.
No,
And I want to expand my promotions. But
and that's half your problem.
like you said, a lot of I give a lot of ideas away for free.
That's half your problem.
Most of my problem is I got a goddamn big mouth and I open it up too often and spill out the ideas that I got going. And
I'll agree with that.
And-
You're a fucking loudmouth, and you're a son of a bitch.
well, thanks, John. I'm glad I got out of bed this morning to come do a podcast with you, you prick.
That's right. This is before noon.
Yeah, I know. So, and anyway, we in between now and then, I went to Missoula to. Part of the reason was I was going to go talk to a couple promoters up there that were putting on the big concert. They're doing amazing there. Kettle House Brewery has put together probably one of the coolest amphitheaters I've ever seen. Now it's right on the Blackfoot River there out in Bonner.
Beautiful.
Unbelievably cool. They got like a big, nice concrete mosh pit thing, permanent stage. Then it comes up above that. It's nice theater seating, a nice walkway wide enough to fit everybody and run everybody out. And then up above
Even
that,
if you gotta run out and throw up because you're on mushrooms.
yeah, well, whatever it takes. Yeah, it is Missoula. So, and they got a nice, really nice sloped mowed grass area. I mean, the thing is literally, I don't know if I could have dreamt up a more desirable place to host a concert.
Even the Red Rocks?
I would say it rivals that.
Really?
I'd say it's that good.
Wow.
I mean, Red Rocks is such a natural amphitheater, but this kind of is too because you got the river
about the
and then the
Gorge
mountains
and George?
behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right there, man. Like, they just got voted one of the best amphitheaters in the Northwest after they built it. And now they're popping off concerts all the time. I went over to see the Dirty Heads, Iration, The Movement, and Pacific Dub. They're a bunch of like white reggae style bands. And I love them, but what a great concert it was, and it actually was better than I even expected. But it's cool because you look behind you up in the mountains across the highway, and you see little lights on the side of the people are sitting in the mountains just for a free ticket, And it's all, Missoula's got that chill hippie vibe type of.
Missoula's pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie. Missoula has this atmosphere that there's it makes you feel like you're in Montana, even though you're not amongst Montanans.
Yeah, it's a good point. In our side of the state, over here on the flat end,
you're Montanans.
We're Montanans, but life is a little different than it is over in the mountains. It's a different style. For one, like this side of the state, not to get really political, but is most of the time is pretty Republican. And the other side of the state's a little more liberal, but
whatever.
We're all still Montanans. And like I had this guy come through the bar the other day, and he's actually a Netflix producer. He's got a documentary on Netflix that is about an old baseball player, crazy Cuban. It's cool. So
he has a girlfriend.
Yeah, he does.
Oh wait, no.
But anyway, he's got this documentary on Netflix, and I got to visit him with him, and in the bar, of course, because he's from Seattle. Somebody comes up to him and, well, you're from Seattle. You're this liberal, blah blah blah, and he goes, wait a minute, have you ever been to Seattle? And they go, no. And he goes, how can you have an opinion on my town if you've never been there? And he goes, you haven't even started a conversation with me. You don't know if I'm a Trump fan or just because I live in Seattle.
You just assume the worst. Yeah.
The problem is it's so judgmental over here. And I get that we're kind of stuck in our way of life. And I'm not bashing on where we live or anything, but sometimes
I love where we live.
Me too. We need to open up our minds a little bit from that closed-minded,
Not everything is awful.
No, exactly, and you don't have to hate everybody. So, getting to my point,
change hurts, but it doesn't hurt always.
Getting to my point, the guy goes, why do you even care? He goes, because as far as I'm concerned, we're all on Team Human. We're all Homo sapiens. We're all on Team Human. We're all on the same planet together. Why the hell do we keep arguing over the stupidest shit?
I agree.
Is that really going to change everybody's life? Or would being nice to that next guy be fucking better?
I watched a TV show the other day that they were talking about, but I don't know how to explain this. I'm gonna give 3 seconds to be able to cut this out.
All right.
But I watched a show where there was a guy that was black, and he said something about he was being like the opposite racist, and then they were talking about this at the same time. They were talking about being gay, and they were saying, "Hey, it doesn't matter. Look we went through opposition how many years ago? Don't be." And it was an NFL team, and they were saying, "Hey, so what if a gay guy is on our team?"
Yeah.
And the other half were saying, "No, we don't want a gay guy on our team." And it was like, "Hey, you remember how we were oppressed for so long?" And then suddenly, there's a gay guy on the team, and half of the black guys were mad because there was a gay guy on the team. And it was like, it doesn't make sense.
Well, one of the funniest things, and this came up between Carol and I the other day, is, it's always funny to make fun of gingers. I'm ginger. I'm fucking got red hair.
I know your freckles don't get tan. You don't get tan.
And don't get me wrong,
your freckles.
I got some pretty thick skin from being short and redheaded my whole life. But when you're fucking teasing somebody about being ginger, how in the hell is that not racist? That is my race. I mean, no, it's. Well, Carol goes, that's not a race. That's your skin color. I go, so do you want me to walk around calling you brown all day?
No, she doesn't.
Exactly. And so it's not like that. And it wasn't a fight. This was a joking conversation we're having between each other. And it was still joking even to finish it. But I've had this so many times where people come up with, even on Facebook, people want to go on there and, oh yeah, because you're ginger. It's because you're blah blah blah.
Your old lady's cute.
And I go no soul, no problem. But what if I was to do that to my black friends and be like, that's because you're black?
It would be different if your old lady was ugly.
That's what I mean. But like, what if I'm to go on Facebook and, that's because you're black. That's because you're brown. Whatever. Well, people can go, that's because you're ginger, and tease the shit out of me and never get called out.
You'll never get called out.
Never get called out for calling people for as being a racist, you know.
No.
But you sure as hell are if I say anything about any other race. You know, or
Did we go way off track here?
No, you were talking about the blacks and the gays and why the blacks were feeling oppressed on the gays.
I just don't understand why anybody has any oppression towards anyone.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
In this day and age,
I love comedy, so a good joke towards whether I'm the subject of it or not,
it's funny.
I'll laugh it off. I got thick skin, but I do.
Right.
On the other hand, like I said, I was trying to prove the point of.
I absolutely agree.
I get racist comments all the time.
You know how many? Yeah, I was just gonna say.
You think I fucking enjoy sunburning?
I don't know. You do it every year.
I don't usually. I mean, not bad. I got it under control now. I know when to seek shade.
That's fucking funny. Sorry, I just donated to the.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, Vanna
White Fund.
Trust jar.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Put it on my tab. How many times have I said that?
Got an IOU in there. I shake it out, and I went. I bought some equipment for in here, and I shaking it out, and there's about 3 IOUs fall out of there. $5 IOU.
Sure Johnny special. Yeah.
Here you go.
Now that I got my fucking... Geez, I just did it again.
Yeah, it's all right. It's a podcast. It's not radio.
That's true.
And
That's
part
true.
of the deal... So, I guess part of my deal why I took a break on the podcast is not necessarily getting stale with it.
Frustrating.
It is... There's things that get frustrating. I want to have new guests.
There's things you can say and things you can't say.
I do have another good guest coming up here next week. Well, that's great. My mom's calling again.
Hey,
How many she calls every time during the podcast?
Nothing like a
doesn't she?
mommy's boy.
Let's answer it and see if we can hear her.
All right, let's.
Hello? Well, turns out we couldn't hear my mom on there, but she seems to call almost every podcast. She freaked out, actually, when I go, Mom, you're on the podcast. She goes, I got to go. Hung up on us.
All you had to do was say hello.
Yeah. But, so anyway, talking about the guests that I got coming up, Ty Salisbury's going to get on here. He's living in Idaho now, and
he's an old Malta Mustang.
Yeah, and he got a hold of me and said, let's do a podcast and talk about old coaches we had and just different things before a lot of them leave town or retire and whatnot. And so we're going to do that on Monday night, I think, is the plan, and should be a fun show. And like I said, as far as the direction of the podcast, I mean, we're literally been worldwide already, and I haven't even tried to really open it up for sponsorship, which I should. I've thought about doing the Patreon style where like listeners can pay, if they want to, just to support it. But eventually I'm going to have to do something to make it worth.
Right. Why don't the people decide whether we should keep doing this or not?
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, we did have Revo guitar straps. Got to send some love to him again because that guy's a stud. Sent me some awesome guitar straps and whatnot. But
there's been some support that you can't deny.
Yeah, I mean, but like you said, as far as monetizing it, I got a thing.
Tell us if we should keep doing it.
A thing on as on my podcast site, it's like screaming at me to open it up for advertising.
We're Montana boys.
I haven't done it yet, and I came from the radio background before then, and everything in the radio is paid for. I mean, if you want to tell me about your church event coming up for 15 minutes, it's $45. I bring the best comedians to town. It's $45 to get them online or on the air.
Travis is the cheapest show in town. I keep telling him
cheapest, but the best the best reach by a long ways.
But he refuses to listen to me.
And that's worked out for me to get walked all over a lot. That's the problem. Is what I've been talking about earlier. Is I keep offering out.
You know how many people you've raised to a second level that they don't even understand?
It's. You
do.
I get it, but
you understand how many people you've raised to another level that they don't even understand or appreciate. Hey, I'm just here for moral support. I'm here to take it. I'm here to.
Well, you're always the one guy that.
I'm here to make a stinky fart and make everybody smell it.
I'm having a bad day. I can go down to Johnny's and fucking complain to him for a half hour or whatever I need to before, and he never bitches about it. So that's always a good thing. It used to be old Jody Lee. I'd go wake him up at about 2:30 in the morning, but I don't do too much 2:30 in the morning stuff anymore.
That's hard to do when you're getting to be an old man.
I used to go beat on Jody's door and, hey, Jody, I'm drunk and I'm mad, and then I'd go tell him my stories, but I don't do that too often. In fact, tonight I bartend until 2:30 in the morning, and then when I'm done, I guarantee I'm going to want to come home and try to go to sleep. My biggest problem in my life is literally, man, insomnia is crazy with me. I can't.
Welcome to my world.
I'm awake
since I
till
was
I'm awake
14.
till frickin' 3 a.m, almost no matter what I do. Unless, like last night, I got done eating supper, was super tired right after supper. I went and laid in my bed at like 9 o'clock, and I could have passed out, no problem. But I've got Carol and kids, and pretty soon they're coming in and go, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, I was trying to sleep, but now I'm going to be wired until 3 again." So, because Zoom tight.
I couldn't even stop that one.
Yeah, so, and that's, I mean, I guess I know everybody goes through their own small issues and whatnot, but, geez, John's going to die on us here. The allergy, he's allergic to the podcast, apparently.
I think I'm allergic to
Yeah?
bullshit.
Well, none of this is bullshit. You're only getting the truth here.
I'm allergic to bullshit, and Travis is giving me bullshit.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's, like I said, that's part of the reason I keep... Jeez, John, I'm going to have to just delete this.
I'm not done yet. I'm
right.
going to give you an explanation here in a second.
All right.
I'm done.
Sure you are. Do
I'll tell you why.
Do you need a tissue for your issue?
Yeah, I don't know. I have a T-shirt. I always wipe my nose off on the back of my T-shirt when I do that.
Girl pulls up your shirt and thinks it's jizz stains. Nope, that's just my boogers.
It's just gray hair on the chest hair.
That's funny.
It's not a let it go on me. It's a let it go. It's on me. It depends on how you say it.
I bet.
It's a let it go on me, or let it go. It's on me.
Yeah, no shit.
Or-
So, back to the whole monetization of all of it. Like I said, doing the cell phones is pretty cut and dry. I mean, it's worth this, it's that. But when you're doing like graphic design, and you're doing, like me, doing video design, that kind of thing, I mean, yeah, I guess the hard part for me is, I mean, I know it's worth a ton of money because there's nobody else doing it.
The problem is,
But then you go, what do you charge, and how do you? Then you got to play your own collection agent. You got to.
Yep. The problem is collecting the money and being the agent that you have to be. You have to make them sign a goddamn
Contract
right off the bat. But in a small town like this,
everybody's your friend, and they expect it for free. Type of,
it's hard to do. Well, not everybody's your friend.
No, apparently not.
They pretend to be your friend for a day or two while they go through this. And the point is, you got to make a contract the second you do it. It's just the way it is.
Yep. I bet your dog got out again. You're getting a phone call now too.
I denied it.
Denied. Just bring him over, Ty. Just bring him over.
I'll call you back in a minute, buddy.
Yeah. So this year you moved back to the apartment. You haven't got a garden at all.
I have.
Do you miss it?
Garden. I have a garden out at the lake, but it's up to Ty to water it when they go back and forth to Glasgow. Oh, dude, there's nothing more that I miss than having a garden in my backyard. There is nothing more in my backyard that I miss than.
I said for sure that mine was going to be bigger this year, and we went smaller. Just
Did we not bring
out of timing
you a
and
goddamn
everything.
rototiller?
Yeah, and it made like 2 little passes, and then I couldn't keep it running. So
All you got to do is put more gas in it.
I put a ton of gas in it.
There's tricks to that thing.
Yeah,
It's
well,
dangerous. It's one of the most dangerous things of all time.
I ended up just digging it up by hand.
There's no safety switch. It's one of the most dangerous rototillers you've ever seen. That thing goes full bore or nothing.
Yeah, when you start that thing up, it's wow.
Yeah, it's just full bore, and there's no clutch, there's no nothing. It just goes.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous. Welcome to Montana.
It truly is. But, what do you do?
You plant a goddamn garden.
Yeah, we did. We got some stuff out there,
It's awesome. It's just what you do.
I enjoy gardening. Speaking of gardening, I've always wanted to. That's one of the most peaceful things is to go out there and just like weed your garden and hang out.
Dude, it's like therapy.
Go barefoot in there. Well, I watched this thing on YouTube the other night. This guy in Nebraska. He's an old guy, and he's got an orange farm in Nebraska. Oranges don't grow in Nebraska. They still get 20 below in Nebraska.
They're not supposed to.
What this guy's got, he dug a he dug this thing deep into the ground. Like, it's probably like 6 feet in the ground. And it's got a greenhouse top on it, double-layered greenhouse top. But what he did is he took pipes, 6-inch pipes, and forced them down into the ground, or drilled them into the ground about 8 feet down, and then like 90 feet out each direction. And I think he said he's got like 8 or 10 pipes like that. And all they are is they're open to the air. One of them has a fan in it. And the ground at 8 feet deep is constant 55 degrees, like all year round, no matter what. So if it's too hot in the summer, he pipes in that air. If it's too cold in the... He grows some of the best oranges in the nation in Nebraska in this sweet little greenhouse. And so I started looking at it, and I'm thinking, man, we could do that at the cabin pretty easy. Do a sweet-ass green... I mean, he's got grapes, he's got oranges, he's got nectarines,
Your cabin could be the spot for whatever we needed ever.
That's very true. I need to put more time in and work out there. I'm looking for a little tractor. That's going to help me a lot if I had something to, pull out some of the trees, grade the road, mow the lawn. I just mowed the whole lawn over 4th of July with a push mower, and it took 2 days, and that's a lot. I'm telling you, the grass was as tall as me when I started. So anyway, I'd really like to get some sort of little tractor for out there, like even if it just had a box mower type thing. And
if it's as tall as a leprechaun.
Well, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
But no, I mean...
What is it? You said that you don't get a sunburn, your freckles grow together?
Yeah. No, I don't get a suntan. My freckles just grow together. Yeah.
I've been saying that for red Irish Americans everywhere.
Yeah, red Irish American. Would you do that 23andMe where they take your DNA test to find out what you are?
I don't think so.
Or what are you afraid you're going to find out you have a sister you didn't know?
No,
and you're like, whoops, we shouldn't have had some sex?
Well, for one. For two, I think I'm good where I'm at. I have no qualms. But
well, I don't either. I'd just like to know. I'd just be curious to know.
I have a pretty good family. I have a...
No, not so much the family, but I'd like to know what my lineage is. I'd like to know, like, am I 20% Irish? Am I all black?
My grandma was a McPhee. And my other grandma was...
But that don't mean shit. Once they got over here, some people changed their last name. Some people, like... I can follow mine back to my great-great-grandparents. And they were, like, on one side, one of them came into Chicago, and that might have been where they settled originally. But that's about as far back as you can settle it. So you can only look back, 100 years? Which is crazy, man.
Yeah,
I'd like to know my DNA back...
I don't know, whoever my grandfather was, thank you for the long cock. Sorry for the bad words, but...
Who says it didn't come from Grandma?
Whoever it came from.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks,
you.
Dad, for making me short, redheaded, and giving me a...
never mind. You may have died early,
a great personality.
You gave me a great... I didn't get anything but
a great smile. Yeah.
Great smile. That's right.
So, about the orange farmer, that's like we said, we were talking about the cabin. Man, what I want to do out there is I want to take if my buddy Brandon fact checker would ever fucking listen to me or text me back, I want to take a drone photo of above there and then, kind of map it out and design where things should lay.
He won't call you back. He won't call you back.
No, I know. Poor guy.
He's too cool now.
Poor guy.
He's too cool for us.
Well, maybe if we call him out on the podcast, he'll call us back.
Yeah, he's too cool for us.
I don't think he's too cool. I think he's too busy playing his video games in his basement.
Oh, that could be true. He's living off of...
Hope you're listening, Brandon, because I want you back in here. You had fucking crazy potential to be a big part of this.
Yeah, well, all you got to do is have a helicopter that takes pictures, real life pictures.
So, anyway, like I said, I want to map it out there. I got this cabin. For people that don't know, I got 2 acres on the river. And back to my reason, I've been real pissed off the last couple weeks. So my skateboard got stolen right out of my house. And
that's true.
Fuck you, whoever did that.
This is true. And
somebody walked into my house and stole my fucking skateboard. Fuck you, because I know you're probably one of my friends.
And we're not doing it. We're not even putting quarters into the goddamn.
And next time. Well, and then
that's a fuck you to whoever.
I'm out at my cabin, sitting there on my porch playing my guitar.
And we know who did it.
And in comes a car that has never been allowed to be out there.
We know.
They freak out. They see who I am, and they turn around and they drive off and they run off. Well, it turns out,
just so you know, we know
they've been caught out there before, and then also, the next week, I go out there and my fucking kids' trampoline's ripped in half.
Times have changed.
So people have been jumping on there. Needless to say, I'm going to press charges next time I fucking catch you trespassing.
Yeah, and times have changed. So
Times have changed, man. You can't trust anybody anymore. Like, literally, I can count the friends that I have on one fucking hand lately.
yeah, well, and you can't trust the people that you had in your past because they're in your past.
That's true.
The people you have right now is all you can count on. And when you can count the 3 people that you've had for the last 20 years,
Yeah, that's true.
and they're the same 3 people, they're probably the same 3 people you should keep on your hand.
Exactly.
It's not a matter of what happened or who did it or what, you know who did it. You know dang well who did it. We all know who did it. Everyone knows who did it. The problem is,
People
whether
change.
you
Here's
say
the thing.
something or not.
Yeah, exactly. And I've always been the nice guy not to. But the problem is, around this town, man, certain drugs have got a fucking grip on some people.
It's not certain drugs.
I'm
we
not
all
gonna.
know what
We
drugs
know
we're
what
talking
drug it is.
about.
Yeah, it ain't fucking. But yeah,
I've lost family. I
got some friends. Me too. Family also. And I'm not gonna directly call them out by name, but god damn it,
No, I'm not gonna.
know
either,
your fucking
but,
limits, man.
man. I'm so sick
It really
of it.
frustrates me.
I'm sick of it. I'm ready to join the. I'm ready to join the people that spray paint the side of a wall.
Don't get me.
I'm so pissed at
the
people
meth
that
not even one. Yeah,
I'm so pissed at people that I used to love.
me too. Me too. People that used to be some of the coolest fucking humans I knew, and now they're a goddamn zombie.
I'm so fucking pissed at the people I used to love.
It's a zombie drug, man.
I'm not even gonna donate a quarter to Vanna because I said that.
I don't even know. And yeah,
I'm so mad.
don't get me wrong. I've always been the guy that if you needed some fucking help, call me.
Dude,
But don't fucking take from me without calling me.
I would do anything for any one of my friends.
Same here. If you're down and out, you're fucking whatever.
I would do anything.
I'm
To
the
help my
well, like
friends
I
out.
told you, I'm the worst at saying no. So fucking call me and I'll help you out. But god damn it, if you steal from me, now we got a problem.
Now we got a problem.
And that's
That's the most hurtful thing there is lying
well, fuck.
and
I
thieving.
mean, my skateboard, I probably got $200 into it. But who stole
deal.
it?
It's not
Who
about
stole
the
it?
money.
I know who fucking stole it.
It's not about the money, and
And-
we know who stole it. We
and-
do know who stole it, and we are going to get it
The
back.
thing is, if you needed some wheels and trucks, talk to me. I got extras.
Just
Fuck, I'm
ask.
putting on a skate camp for kids right
Just.
now. I'm giving shit away.
Just ask.
Yeah. Don't you break into my house? Now we got a real problem. The next time I might fucking shoot you.
Might.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even say might.
Yeah, well, and I got cameras. So, I mean, you know what? I'd rather run into you in person because my
Yeah.
fucking fists are angry now.
Your fists have nothing to do with it. Now you have cameras that,
Exactly.
well, and that's beside the point.
Shouldn't have to, though, man.
Shouldn't have to put
This
cameras
has always
up
been the
because your
town.
friends
This has always
come
been the
steal from you.
Yeah, this has always been the town that you could leave your doors unlocked. You never worry about it.
used to be.
Yeah, it used to be. Till this fucking drug has run rampant. I mean,
will
I don't know
say-
what I did. Breaking Bad make it fucking cool?
I will say
what happened. I mean,
here, I'll tell you what happened. Is idiots got to be worse idiots, and now they just need an ass kicking until they realize how big of idiots they are being.
and I'm always a guy for second chances. You know,
Yep, and you know what? I am
God
too.
damn it.
One of my best friends.
when it's the 50th chance.
One of my best friends told me to never call him again. It was over this whole thing, just like we're talking about. It was over a drug deal gone wrong, and I was like, "Don't use my house. Don't be around me while you're doing it. I have a family here, and don't include me. Don't say I'm going to be part of it. None of that." I said, "Stay away from me when you're making shit like that. Don't come steal from me. Don't." And it turned out I had to kick one of my best friends in the world out of my house because it was affecting my family life. It was affecting me and my wife and my daughter at the time. And I hated him for it. He was, to this day, still one of my best friends in the world.
Yeah.
Always will be. We never talked for the next 3 years or whatever because I took him out of my life and I said, "You have to leave. You have to disappear. I don't want you near me. I'm raising a family. I've got shit to do."
And those are the tough conversations to have because you care for them.
Dude, I cried.
See, and I'm all about, like...
I cried over it.
I really think, for one, America's got it wrong. You want to throw them in jail, throw them in jail. But if you're going to throw them in jail and it's over a drug problem, here's
Give them help.
Well, here's something that...
We have worse criminals than people on drugs.
I got a friend that posted this thing on Facebook, and it was a poll of like 1,000 parents, and the parents they were asked 2 questions. The one question was, if you caught your child stealing, would you turn them into the cops? 90% of the parents said yes, I'd turn them into the cops. Next one is, if you caught your child with drugs, would you turn them into the cops? 10% of them said yes.
10.
And the reason why is because they don't believe that it's something that you should be fucking locked away for. It's something you should open your hand and be helped and try to fucking cure it. It's people say, oh, it's not a disease. It's not a disease. Okay, so it's not something that...
No, and it's not
a
an
problem.
excuse.
It's definitely a problem. It's not a disease.
Either.
It's not an excuse. You chose to do that, but don't get me wrong. Some people don't have the fucking willpower when the drugs catch a hold of you to get rid of it. That's all they seek out is the drugs, and they'll fucking steal and lie and cheat just to get to it, just to get more of it.
They'll seek out anything they have to
do it.
Dude, they'll steal your baby carriage.
Well, exactly.
They'll steal your...
And and it's fucking gross, man. But the problem is, I still believe that people could be helped. Problem with meth, though, dude.
No, they can't.
You can get if you've been on it too long, you see people all the time that develop the fucking twitch that's never going to go away.
No, it'll never go away. Not to mention, if you've lost three kids and don't give a crap about it, and suddenly you're living house to house, couch to couch, and it doesn't matter. The problem is not with society, not with the government, not with the CFS, not with the dad, not with the mom. It's, dude, if you have that problem, you need to pay attention. Just pay attention. That's all I ask.
Like I said, to me, it's fucking sad because I see it happen, like you said, with friends, family. It happens all over the place. And it's not just our little community. There's other communities that are way fucking worse. I mean, you go down the road to some of the reservations and shit, man.
It's as bad.
We're just like it is just as bad in certain places. And I think what it stems out to be, there's not a lot to do in a small town, but that's fucking false because there's the problems in big cities too.
I'm seriously close to just...
And don't get me wrong, I apparently the fucking drug makes you feel great.
And
but the problem is they don't have any goddamn willpower to shut it down for the night.
And you know what the problem is I'll be wrong for trying to straighten it out. I'll be the one that's wrong for trying to straighten it up. I'll be the one that's in the wrong.
I've worked with people, and don't get me...
I'll be the one wrong.
I've worked with people that have literally...
Bullshit.
Taken and stole from the boss that's fucking feeding them.
I will be the one that's wrong.
And then they open up the doors too and keep going.
So mad.
I know.
All I want to do is the right thing, and I will be the one who is wrong. And I am so mad about that when I try to do the right thing, but it's wrong.
Well, it's tough to... Man, it's a very tough subject. Because like you said, you can't judge the way that people were brought up. You can't judge the way that everybody's raised different.
I know.
But some of the people that were raised the worst became out the best. I mean, you look at, just a small example, Barry Sanders. His dad was an asshole to him. Told him he was never good enough, never blah, 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 blah. Well, he resorted to running the football harder. He didn't resort to smoking meth to get away from his problem. And what's it do for you? I mean, sure, you can go out and fucking clean your yard real well for a couple days, but how long does that last before it actually grabs the grip of you and changes you as a person?
It has to. From the get-go, it starts. That's what I worry about. That's what I worry about my daughter, is how much she's been affected by this. And it really hurts my feelings that she's had to even deal with any of this to begin with. That's what makes me completely, ridiculously opposed and pissed off about it.
Yeah. I agree. And the problem is nobody's doing shit about it. And to me, like I said, do I think the answer is fucking lock them away for good? No, not really.
No.
But
I think they need help.
Is there can we put more money of our government money into fucking mental help?
There's worse people.
There's literally a lot. America has a terrible mental health problem.
There's worse people than meth addicts.
And I understand it's fucking tough to stay above water. Just to pay your power bill and your rent and your everything else.
But don't go.
It's not the
you don't
easiest
have
thing in
to
the
do-
world if you weren't born into it, or if you don't work your fucking
Right.
brains out.
But you don't have to. You don't have to do whatever everybody else is doing just because. Man,
Is it
talk
the
about
cool thing?
slavery. Talk about slavery.
It
You
becomes-
want to talk about slavery? That's because you're doing what everybody else is doing. And it's because that's what you're doing. You're doing slavery. Basically, you're a slave. Man, that's the most embarrassing thing in this day and age that you could do is be a slave. Be a slave to a drug. Be a slave to a person who owns the drug. Be a slave to anything.
Yeah.
The only thing you should be a slave to is your family and your friends and the people who care about you.
It's the truth, man. Very much the truth. And it like I said, it's very fucking sad that you see it happen. Like I said, I've lost family. I've lost
embarrassed.
friends. I've lost, and at this point in my life right now, my fucking friend circle is
I'm lucky
incredibly
enough
small.
to have quite a few of my friends come around.
I'm lucky to have Johnny text me this morning as I'm fucking feeling down about friends I've lost and things I've done and go, hey, fucker, let's go do a podcast and get over this. And the thing is we need to keep this podcast rolling because there's enough listeners out there. We're getting shit tons of downloads every day, even when we're not doing it.
Let's tell this isn't just a PSA, public service announcement, but
I feel like that jingle should come in. The more you
let's
know.
I know. It's strange. But I say let's tell everybody who you know that you know that's doing it or has a person that's doing it. Let's go punch them in the eye once. Let's go punch them in the eye once and see what they have to say about it.
Yeah.
Go punch him in the eye once. I mean, really,
It'd be a
go
lot.
punch him in the eye. Go punch him in the eye once and go, hey, motherfucker, guess
You know
what?
you're wrong.
I know what you're doing,
When you're
and I
fucking
know
hide-
you're wrong. And
When you're hiding in the goddamn shadows and you're stealing from your friends,
See how
if you
tough
don't
you
have
are.
a fucking conscience, you know you're wrong.
I make a challenge to anyone out there to go punch your drug dealer right in the eye. Fuck them. You can do better.
The thing is I don't know if part of it's because, there's countries that have made it 100% legal. And not so much the meth. The meth's just fucking gross, man. And I get it.
I actually care about my children's mothers.
But what
believe it or
I think, if they're making shit legal, and they're taking that money, you look at Colorado, they're just swimming in money right now, because they legalized weed.
That's different.
Weed is a lot different, and everybody wants to say gateway drug. Gateway drug, my ass. You know what gateway drug? When I broke my fucking collarbone as a senior, and they go, here's a bottle of 100 pills that make you feel like natural heroin.
But that's nothing.
I tell you
compared
what,
to alcohol.
it is. That's tougher than shit to get off of.
No
But
worse than
willpower will do it,
alcohol.
and you're right. But alcohol, to me, alcohol is 100% stronger and harder. Makes you have a hangover. Makes you wreck a car. Worse than fucking weed ever was.
It makes you hate your mom.
Weed might make you a bit lazy and play some video games and maybe eat too much. But you're happy. You
Next
fucking
subject.
laugh.
Next subject.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway,
I fucking hate this subject.
I do too. It frustrates me. But sometimes I got to get it off my chest or else it sits and
I
brews
know,
inside.
I know.
And I
But
look
we've
at what's
brewed
going on
it.
around my little community.
We've brewed on it.
Yeah, you're right.
Next.
So speaking of things, what's the worst day of your life, Johnny?
Worst day of my life was probably when I had to call 911 on myself. I drove off a bridge.
That is a pretty bad day.
I came home from a funeral and I almost caused my own.
You know, I honestly can't think of the worst day of my life, period. Like one single
Well,
out
aren't
day.
you privileged?
No, it ain't even that. I've had a lot of days where I feel fucking terrible, man. I've had... I don't... Man, I mean, anybody that lives locally knows some of the shit I've been through, but... I mean, I've had
You look
women leave me
You look
for
like
a
Vanna
fucking-
White here, smiling away.
Yeah, I'm not, man. There's definitely... It ain't even that. Like, and the thing is that I've always realized is if you can hang on through those tough moments, time always shakes it out. Always.
Just like the bottom of my pants.
Whether it's good or not. I mean, but that's your choice on how you want to fucking keep on living. You know, like say, if I want to get down, and don't get me wrong, I get down. There's fucking plenty of days I feel immaculately depressed. Like, just don't even want to get out of bed. But then there's days that you got a friend like Johnny will call you and go, hey, fucker, get up. Let's do something. Or 3 days down the road, the best thing in the world happens to you, and you go, hell yeah, you know, or your kid does something fucking cool and you're proud of it, or Carol makes me a fucking great meal, and then I'm all happy and be like, yeah, fuck yeah, she's.
You can believe in good things or you can believe in bad things.
You can, and a lot of it's what comes out of your mouth, saying the I ams of.
I say a lot of bad things.
I am great. I am this. I am that. If you say I'm such a loser, that's gonna get ingrained in your head, and then it's gonna suck, and eventually it's gonna start, like you said, coming to.
I'll tell everybody a little
fruition.
secret about me. I say a lot of terrible things, and it's because it's the opposite of what I believe.
Yeah.
I say a lot of terrible things.
I try to say as little.
But it's because.
I try to say as little bad about other people that I can, even when I know it in my head that I should be stronger-willed. I should be, not allowing people to walk all over me, which happens quite often for me.
You're the walkover dude of all time I've ever seen. How many times have you done something for somebody that it didn't matter, or you just did it out of kindness of your heart? Don't answer me yet. I'm not done. How many times have you given someone advice that has taken you years to perfect? How many times have you did something for somebody that because they're your friends, you said, all right, here, I'll help you do this, but you didn't expect anything. Don't answer me yet. How many times have you made somebody something that they weren't before, but now they are, and what did you get for it?
You're right. Not a damn thing, man. I'm still here trying to grind. Not a damn thing. And I like, one of my favorite things.
Screw you, Travis. I'm going to go start my own podcast tomorrow.
I'm sure you will. It would not fucking surprise me. Not necessarily.
Come on, with
not
me?
you, but the way that my shit's been going lately, it wouldn't fucking surprise me.
Et tu, Brute?
No, I know. I guess I just gotta. There's too many people that look out for themselves and themselves only. And I don't do the same. I should probably do the same. Looking out for me and my family more often than I don't.
You gotta look out for number one. I mean, that's the goal of life, right?
Yeah. I mean, it should be, but it's not,
I'm not even yelling no.
And don't get me wrong, if you make it somewhere in life,
I'm sick and tired of
it'd be pretty fucking lonely if you're there by yourself.
I'm sick and tired of people being assholes. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of people taking advantage of people that are good-natured. I'm sick and tired of putting goddamn quarters into Vanna White.
Yeah. What's the worst excuse you ever used? If you're gonna, you get a lot of the.
I've got a good one.
Here's the deal: people have came up with shit, and then what's the worst excuse you've ever used?
I do have a pretty good one. One time I was coming back from one of my buddies that I was a senior in high school and he was a freshman in college. I lived in Malta and he lived in Havre. I'm not going to say names because I'm just not. And I had to hurry back to Malta because I had court at a certain time. So we were like, boy, we were close. And at Dodson, I got in trouble. I got stopped. I got stopped by a highway patrol. Going too fast. All right, can't deny that. Well, then I argued with him about the seatbelt, and it was a giant argument. But my name's John Denver, so he was like, "Well, since your name's John Denver," he said, "I'll give you a break since your parents didn't." And that was my excuse too. I was like, "Hey, man, I'm John Denver. Are you kidding me? You're gonna give me a ticket?"
And it worked?
And it worked. I'm not going to say who the name of the officer was.
I can't think of my best excuse ever, but my senior class, when they do the voting, this is almost 20 years ago, I got voted best excuse maker. So apparently I've had some good ones. I don't.
So that means that you smoke way too much cigarettes, or?
Nah, I didn't. And back then I was pretty straight and narrow, but if my homework wasn't done, I sure had a reason.
You can't remember, man.
I'm
not buying it.
I had a good reason back then if my homework wasn't done. It sure wasn't the dog ate it, man.
Oh, Travis, you got ate shit on.
No. No, I just can't think of a direct one moment of the best one. If you were
sober, you would remember.
I am sober. And I wouldn't...
I meant if back then.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say... I wouldn't even say it was then. I don't know what.
I'm not gonna say I didn't lie to that officer.
I can't say what my best excuse has ever been. I suppose, like, my worst excuses are usually to my own self, of telling myself, you know, when I should be doing something, and you go, oh, my back hurts, or I could say that'd probably be my worst excuses.
Something hurts too much.
You know, or, I mean, personally, the ones that affect me the most are those or where you're feeling lazy and you go, oh, well, the weather ain't right. Or
You just made me sit up
let's just
straight.
not fucking do this today because,
You just made me sit up straight.
oh, I don't have the right parts or I don't, you know, whatever it is. But I would say the most detrimental to myself would be those kind of excuses. Not necessarily an excuse that I gave somebody for the reason, hey,
I was to get over.
I was at the
excuses.
office, not the bar
Right.
type of thing.
Right.
But
the easy to get over.
yeah, I would say my worst excuses are probably the ones that I give myself. Of the I'm not good enough, or I could have, you know, oh, I don't have this, I need that.
No.
That's that kind of shit,
If
you know?
if it makes you feel any better, you gave me a new avenue to go down.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can pretend about a bunch of things that I never thought about.
Yeah. Speaking of
Hey, I'm sorry. I sprained
speaking of
my ankle.
addictions,
Speaking of addictions,
Johnny has this addiction with tomato plants, and right before we came back in here, he's out there trimming up my tomato plants a bit because they needed it.
I'm really one of those guys that
But
I can't help it.
who gave Johnny a fucking knife? I have no idea. You should have to take a test, John, to have that. Very first thing he does, slices open his middle finger trying to take off a tomato.
You'll see it on the
Bleeding all over.
If you actually get this webcast, you'll get it.
Yeah, you'll look at it on the cover photo. We got to
You'll-
remember to take a cover photo this time. We're
You'll
terrible
see the
at that.
picture of it because I'm kind of big on if you got a tomato plant, even if I've never seen it before, I'm gonna take care of the tomato
trim
plant. I have this gift, and this gift is
The other day,
it's not getting stitches in my fingers.
so I got this call in the morning. Apparently, when we had that big storm, the power took out the pumps for our local pump station, whatever, and the water tank for Malta was incredibly low. So they said, "Don't water your garden." Well, I go to post it on Facebook at like 8 in the morning because I was out there. I was going to water the garden because it's going to be hot that day. And I post, "What's up with the water? Sure, a hot day not to water the garden." The Facebook warriors came out in droves to tell me how to water my tomato plants properly. But one person took care of what's needed to be said about the water. I was asking about the water, not how to care for my tomatoes, because those look fine. But, god damn it. Don't water during the day. I went, well, I'm not. I posted it at 8 in the morning. I was going to, you know, when they need water, they need some water.
It's all right. That's right. I put some out at the lake, and I'm not gonna lie, it's the first time I've ever done it, and in soil that I've never.
Yeah.
So I'm a little worried about it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little worried about it. I put a few of my babies right in the soil out at the lake. It's not soil like that's
No, not like
here.
our garden backyard here. But our soil here isn't the greatest.
No, it's not. It's
I
not.
bring in soil and fill my garden with a bunch of it to make it better.
I swear to God, the soil that I put them in out at the lake is better. But I had to take a tile. Oh, I took a ton of rocks.
I think, like I said before, the soil in my cabin would be glorious.
I think
for a
so
garden.
too, and that's what I'm saying.
But I
is
need to buy a pump that I can run water from the.
My biggest problem is it's far enough away that I have to have either friends water it for me, or I have to go out there every day or every other day. That's a long ways away. But guess what? It just so happens to be at a place. If you know me, screw you if you go out and start picking my tomatoes.
Punch them people in the face too.
There's a trap set for you.
Ask
just by the
first.
way.
Ask first.
Yeah. Asperger's syndromes, right?
Yeah. I know. Ask firsters syndrome.
Yes,
Yeah, I know.
yes, yeah. No offense. I'm not trying to take away from the reality of what I'm saying. I'm making a joke.
You know something I've started learning, and I wish I would have. Here's some things that I feel like they should teach in school, and I know they don't because you can fucking kill yourself eating the wrong thing. But we live in Montana, and there's so many natural things that grow outside that a guy should be able to go forage and find I mean, even like the
agree.
white cap mushrooms in your yard.
Yeah.
Most of them you can eat.
They're good.
But if you don't know how to do it, they could kill you.
Catch them.
It's truly
before they open.
It's truly not that hard to learn how to do a spore print and figure out how to eat them and figure out what ones are good and what ones are bad. These are things that we could have went through in school.
Should have
Went through in school long before algebra or what. I mean, and
Montana history.
And you could go out. You could go out and find, like in my yard, I got horseradish plants. I got
who would have knew?
I got wild onions.
Who would have knew?
I got all these things that you could find.
Now you're gonna have no
But
yard.
I've had to do a bunch of research myself just to find them. You know, now as I'm 35 years old, I'm starting to learn this stuff. But man, our world is filled full of this kind of cool shit.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be that hard to teach our kids.
You ever had walleye with your homegrown?
I've had
Vegetables?
walleye. Yeah, oh yeah.
I know
Delicious.
you have. I know. I was
But-
asking the audience.
Yeah.
Do you ever had walleye with your homegrown vegetables?
Exactly.
There's nothing better than than fish you caught.
I really think like gardening should be
with asparagus that you just picked.
if not
on the same day.
If not an optional class, it should almost be a requisite class to learn how to garden or to at least grow a couple plants.
I tell you what, I'll give classes. Next time I get a DUI, I'll give classes on how to
Next time I get a
DUI. blah 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 blah.
Listen to him. He's already counting on one hand. Next time. That's fucking funny.
No, it's not. That was a joke, by the way. That was
Yeah, I mean, and if our kids can't succeed, who can? And who do you? I mean, like, I'm always wishing for success for everybody, and I guess maybe that's one of my faults.
I do too.
It's-
I know. That's why it's hard to hide secrets.
I will fucking squash my own success to help somebody else out on their own success.
Good for
When
you.
it, even
and
when
guess
it,
what?
even
Look,
when sometimes it cuts my own fucking throat.
so far, that's all it's done.
It's the truth, man, and that's sad.
It's very sad, but it's the truth, and the truth.
I enjoy helping other people, man. I've always been a
Dude, nobody
coach
wants to
type
see.
or a, you
Nobody
know,
wants to see anyone fail.
no.
That's the name of the game.
I don't
right
know. I can
there.
think of a few
Is-
I'd like to see fail pretty bad right now.
Sure, but if it came down to it, that's not what it's about. It's not about seeing someone fail. It's about seeing the youth and it's about seeing people preserve their culture and.
Yeah, right now, I'm in which I'm only 2 years into skateboarding, but I'm good enough to help some kids learn how to roll around. So Matt and I are doing a skateboarding camp for these little kids, and literally the joy and the smiles on their face when they learn when they improve and they learn how to roll in or they just got something, they jump off their board and they give you the biggest high five and this huge smile and like that's real to me. That's
Oh, I believe it
some of the
because
realest
I just did,
fucking feeling.
in your back alley. I just did a 180 off of
did?
your ramp. I mean, it wasn't a giant 180. It was a tiny, tiny, tiny little 180 that I did.
but it feels good because you
But
accomplished something.
man, I did it. I turned around and I went up the ramp and I did a 180 and I turned around and I came back.
And you didn't die, and that's like
And it didn't hurt. I didn't die. I followed it right through and I went, ha, ha, ha.
yeah.
And that's kind of my theme in life is ha, ha, ha. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're going to get you up to the skate park. and you're
Travis
gonna
knows
enjoy
what
it.
I mean by ha, ha,
I
ha.
do.
I think
do.
somebody else does too.
What, so if we got this podcast going, if you could podcast with anybody, dead or alive, who would it be?
If it would be
Sit down with the
dead
conversation.
or
Whether
alive,
it's on
if
the
you could
podcast or
talk
not,
to
but
anyone.
I'm going to narrow it down
Wow.
to, because I like the podcast because the way it opens up conversation.
I don't know. I would like to say my dad.
Yeah.
My dad would be a good one, but he would never do anything like this.
Honestly, I'd love to podcast with my dad too.
My dad would never do anything like this. No.
my
We would
dad's-
have to record him in secret.
My dad's a freaking stud. I mean, like he's been.
Your old man
We got
is-
a poster of him here.
Your old
in
man
the-
could do it.
and he could, and he's a musician and everything. But honestly, I'd love to sit down with him on this and do a podcast as far as, you know, digging a little deeper. That when you open up a conversation that's going to be an hour long or longer, you get a lot deeper than you do just on your conversation in passing with a couple beers or you know.
Yeah. No, with my old man, I wish I could get my old man to talk to me like
bet.
we talk. We get pretty sentimental, and we get pretty deep and down. Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of people don't get what we do. A lot of people don't get what we do,
That's very true.
and it doesn't matter.
But
Whatever.
a lot of people must because they're listening.
A lot of people. Well, and congratulations.
I'm
Go
sure a lot
fuck
of people.
yourself. I don't give a flying fuck if you like it or if you don't like it.
I don't either. I do it because I enjoy it, and it's something that I like putting out there. I like just like this sign behind me that says "Create something every day," even if
Right.
it sucks.
Exactly.
I enjoy putting something out there,
My point is,
and the way that I feel.
is
and
if you get people out there talking about something that should be talked about, or even if you don't, as long as you get people still talking to each other instead of just texting each other,
well, you sure can't
I
go
think
on.
you win.
You sure can't go on public radio and talk about our fucking meth problem. the
Oh
way
my
that we could.
God, you can't go on radio. If you went on radio,
It's different. You're allocated to about 15 minutes max.
no, you're not even allocated that because you're not allowed to talk about that.
So if you have a real issue, though, for you to get it out, it's almost like you're acting. You're not your real self.
no,
You're not gonna
not yourself.
open up and let go.
You're gonna act like somebody you're not, and that's not true, and it's bullshit. And
That's the difference that the internet's opening up these big conversations
that's
that
why.
should be talked about. And that's what, to me, that's what'll change our world.
What number is this? That's why we have podcast number 107.
Yeah, we're not quite that far. I want to say 44 maybe this might be.
Crap.
Ish. I know we're short. The problem is that's that, like I said, the best.
Nobody cares about us.
The best excuse I make. Well, they do apparently because we're still getting anywhere between 20 to 40 downloads a day, whether we're touching it or not.
They should send us their new beers
And
or their
that's
new
without-
blankets or their new.
When we put out a new one, instantly it gets a shit ton of downloads for the first 3 to 5 days, and then it tapers off. But then all of them keep getting listened to because it's on iTunes and everything else. But
I don't know.
But the
about
problem
that.
is,
I don't think anyone cares about us.
Well, I
Travis.
know, but the problem is motivating yourself to sit up and actually go through the motions of turning the computer on and opening the
did it.
mics.
And it's a normal part of the
Doing
day today.
It is, and it should be.
It's not middle of the night.
It's part of what my goal was when I started the podcast, was to make it something normal that's used to happening, and eventually,
normal
don't get me
is
wrong.
strange.
Don't get me wrong. Eventually, maybe pay the bills with it,
Yeah, well,
and it's worth that. If it's reaching 30,000 people,
but that's not what
it's
you and I are
worth-
doing. But that's not what you and I are doing.
that's not why
it for.
I did it. No, That's not at all why I did it. I didn't do it because I went, you know what, we could get rich off a podcast. I did it because I got some ideas in my head that I wouldn't mind putting out there to people to let them analyze it and hear the way that they do and have the conversations with the people that some days I wouldn't have a conversation with,
That's why I'm here, so I can take him a step back and.
Johnny's always good at kicking me in the
I
nuts
don't
when I'm
know.
feeling good, too. He'll bring me up when I'm feeling down, but he's also real good at, like, hey, don't get too big of a head. Boom, right in the balls.
We do it to each other.
Yeah, you're right. Because
Literally.
if you can't give your friends shit, then they're not my friends.
Yeah. If you can't say I'm sorry and fucking.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I did.
There's a
literally-
double F-bomb.
I kicked Johnny in the balls the other
Yeah.
night. I'm out drunk. I'm
Here's the
drinking.
elephant in the room. Here's the elephant in the room.
I'm out drinking the other night, and I don't go out very often anymore.
And I know he didn't mean
I'm
to.
tying one on, and I walk up to him, and I mean to inside leg kick him because he wasn't paying attention to me that night. And I went to leg kick him, and he squatted down, and I kicked him square in the balls.
And I didn't mean to.
And I didn't, whatever, I didn't mean to either. And I'm sorry
I
for
threw a
doing that.
fit.
And John threw a fit and threw his fucking beer in my face. Then I wanted to punch him. Then I was real mad. And of course, because I was drunk was why I was real mad. But
It was
I'm still glad that we're good enough friends that
that we could just
a
get
guy
over
can
it.
squash that and
Yep.
not even, go sorry, fuck, my fault,
Yep.
your fault, whatever.
Here we are.
Dumb
Whatever.
shit.
Don't matter.
And that's that's what a good friend is.
It doesn't matter.
Is that you can do that kind of shit to each other and still be friends after it and not be like, fuck that guy,
Yeah.
I hate him for
No,
3 years.
I'm not gonna take no.
You know when I
goddamn-
do hate you for 3 years? You fucking steal something from me.
Right.
You take my fucking skateboard that is one of my favorite fucking things in the world,
It's the last time I'll do that.
and you go part that motherfucker out, and you're gonna, if I find you riding on those wheels, You're going to be lucky if you fucking ride a skateboard again.
No, you take it, and I even know what you're talking about. I know what skateboard you're talking about, and if I promise you that I know who took it.
I do too.
And
it was brought up at the skate park last night. A guy told me, and like I said,
and it's kind of funny because you're second on the list. You want to fucking kick that guy's ass.
Exactly. And it's sad.
Just
it's
saying.
sad because he was one of my fucking great friends.
Yeah.
And even more so, one of Carol's friends.
Couldn't just come ask you.
No shit. Can I borrow your... Do you got some wheels I could have?
Couldn't just come ask you.
Fuck, I'd give them to you, man.
Dude, that's bullshit.
One of Carol's lifelong friends.
Dude, I guarantee you, if I asked Travis if there was something he had that
Take my motorcycle if you need it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is, you don't have. I would never steal from Travis because all I would have to do is ask him.
And is that a pride thing? Are you fucking too proud to fucking ask somebody for something you want?
No, it's a meth thing.
It is. Stop fucking messing around.
It's a I'm gonna fuck you up now thing. It's a I don't trust you, and now if I see you near any of my shit, I am gonna fuck you up. Sorry.
Exactly. I feel like breaking a fucking meth pipe over their head.
Ooh, I feel like breaking more than a meth pipe. A
I
meth
agree.
pipe is probably thin because they burned it.
It is,
so
but hopefully
thin,
it'll fucking cut them a bit. But
Oh,
no,
fuck
I don't know,
them
man.
up.
It pisses
No.
me off.
Fuck them. You know what? They don't deserve mercy. If you're a person that steals,
All I literally ask is do something fucking productive for society.
if you're gonna steal it, do something with it.
God. I don't know, man. It's really been
It's
graveling me
hurtful.
this last week.
It's hurtful.
Terribly graveling me. And I know it's only a $200 skateboard. Whatever. $200 bucks. Fuck
cares?
that.
Who
But it was
cares?
mine, you son of a bitch, and I
That's
built
right.
it. It was a birthday present. The fucking deck was a birthday present from Matt and Carol. Not that it's a skateboard deck. It's going to get ruined. It's going to get beat on.
Who cares?
But it was
That's not the
fucking
point.
mine, and you came in my house and you fucking took it.
Like it's yours. Yes. That's not the point. That makes. Oh.
You are so lucky that I wasn't in that house watching you come in there. Because you might not make it out. I'm not going to fucking lie. It's Montana and we all have guns.
We all have guns. Not to mention.
And once again,
We all have a handful of friends that all have guns.
On the gun debate, I use my gun for hunting, and if it's somebody going to fuck me over.
I use a couple of my
That's the
guns for
point.
hunting. I use a couple of my hunts for home protection.
Yeah. And who knows if they're fucking methed up and coming in to grab something.
I guess
and
what?
you stop them, who knows what's going to happen? You never know if they've been up for 6 days
If
fucking
someone's
straight.
coming at me and I'm scared, I'm fucking shooting you. I don't give a crap. I don't know what else to say about it.
Sad to say, but you're in my house.
I don't care
And
if
that's
you're
where
my
my
friend.
kids live that can't defend themselves.
You know what? If you're my friend, I'll know you're coming.
That's what I mean. It's my house, and my kids are in there that aren't big enough to defend themselves. Who
Right.
knows what you're going
You
to...
got to protect your wife and kids. It's as simple as
Period.
that.
And you'd be lucky if I shot you and it was that easy, as opposed to fucking Carol grabbing a knife out of the drawer and stabbing you in the face. I don't know. I mean,
You want a bad
she's
day.
twice as ruthless as me.
Oh, you want a bad day. End your day with her looking at you.
Yeah, no shit. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick break. We'll lighten this podcast up. We've been pretty dark here for the last 20 minutes, and we'll talk about aliens or something crazy after that. So we'll be right back. I'm going to take a quick break. Montarctica.com. All right, everybody, we're back, and we're going to try to be in a better mood. I had to get the bitching off of my chest.
Positive mode.
A little bit. Yeah, positive mood now. What we're going to kick it off with is our podcast. Ever since we even really started, like episode 3 or 4, we got this big listenership from the Philippines. I mean, almost as much, if not more so, than we do in America. And so we met this rock band, or they got a hold of us, actually. Rock band Dimmy is the name of them. And they are some super, super talented musicians. If you get a chance, you should check their music out. I'm going to go ahead and play their newest single, I should say. This one's called 6, and this is Dimmy out of the Philippines.
I just woke up, I'm broken hearted, but my night is just getting started. I call you up, but your phone's just ringing. I was so high, I didn't notice there was a girl. She was so jaded. I checked my phone, but there's just nothing. It felt so fast, you were faded. I thought this heart would never beat again, but after 6 seconds, there it goes again. It took 6 seconds to love again. It took 6 seconds to hold your hand. Baby, baby, how long will it take? It's now or never. I ain't gonna let you slip away. I pick you up at 7:30. I feel alright, 'cause now you're with me. Girl, I know you're heaven sent. I wish this moment would never end. I thought this heart would never beat again, but after 6 seconds, there it goes again. It took 6 seconds to love again. It took 6 seconds to hold your hand. Baby, baby, how long will it take? It's now or never. I ain't gonna let you slip away. Baby, baby, how long will it take? It's now or never. I ain't gonna let you. It took 6 seconds to love again. It took 6 seconds to hold your hand. Baby, baby, how long will it take? It's now or never. I ain't gonna let you slip away. Slip away. Slip away. Hey,
Playing with herself.
Holy.
Quit playing with herself.
I was trying to get our mics back on, and it wasn't working right. But man, Dimmy, you guys are phenomenal over there.
You know, I'm
Rocking the hell out. I love that.
I'm a little pissed that I didn't think of that.
You know, that's as good as rock gets, really. I mean,
Dimmy,
you can hear
God.
you can hear some Van Halen in there. You can hear, man, you guys are talented. That's all I got to say. Phenomenally talented over there.
I can't believe
love
we're
it if we could
playing
make
their
it-
music on your fucking podcast.
I'd love it if we could get them over here to the United States and be like, listen,
I'd
we
love
met
it more
we
if
met
we
through
could
this
go
podcast.
to their place.
Yeah, over there we just podcast at their show. That'd
I
be
bet
cool.
you they could show us a waterfall we've never seen.
Something.
At least.
I'm not real familiar with what all's in the Philippines. I mean, it's that far away, you know. I got a buddy that lives over there, like I said, old Tim, and hopefully he's listening. Sometimes he does.
Well, I would imagine that they are going to get a hold of us and let us know exactly what's up with what's up, because there's no way we are going to disconnect with this group.
No, yeah, they're cool. And they contacted us within I don't remember what episode it was on, but they got a hold of us fairly early and went, hey, we got a band. Can we play you?
I love it.
I do too. It's awesome. And making friends all over the damn world because of this podcast, you know?
Oh, dude, that's the most amazing part about this.
It is.
If you have a problem with this, go fuck yourself. I'm serious. If you have a problem with this, you know what? Take it and fly. There's no way that we're going to stop doing what we're doing.
I agree. And man, just props to you guys, Demi, and all you guys over there just rocking out, putting in the time. Man, you can tell there's some serious time put in for them to be that good together. They are as tight as tight gets, man.
You don't get that good for nothing.
No.
You don't get that good without putting in a lot
Blood,
of time.
sweat, and tears there. You can tell that for sure.
Hey, I'll bet you they've been through a lot of band members. They've probably, if not,
I don't know, yeah.
congratulations.
I don't know the band
I'd like
history.
to-
I should visit
yeah.
with him and find out.
No kidding. I would like to know the demographic and the what are you guys doing? You know, I'm no psychological analyst. But
Nor
what I
should you be. Man, they shred for sure. Anyway, Demi, thanks for giving us some more of your music to throw on the podcast.
That's
Man.
what the show's
I
all
enjoy
about.
it. I enjoy exposing things that people normally wouldn't get to hear.
Like
that's
his wiener.
talented. Jeez, Louise.
Speaking of exposing things,
I don't ever
people would
expose
never
that.
hear. Yeah, I know.
I'm pretty tied down. That doesn't get exposed very often.
My bad.
Now the best part is trying to work around 3 kids and finding when I can expose it. Wait,
Never.
hurry up, get in there, lock the doors in the bedroom.
That was my job. Yeah.
Hurry up. You got 30 seconds. Well, God, I can do it in 20. Perfect.
Yeah, in your life. I do it all over town.
Yeah, I bet you do, Captain Streaker.
All right, that's bullshit. Enough of that.
Man, there was something we were going to talk about on here too, and
Yes, there was.
I completely forgot about what it was going to be.
It was. There was. Hey, what would you do if you? All right, here it comes. I'm gonna go with this one. I don't know. It's the old
Hey, hold on a
second
second.
age question. I can never tell.
What's your
when you're
huge
talking or
question?
not to.
Sorry, I cut it out because our mics were kind of messing up right there. So if you guys hear a little blurb or a cut, but we're still on the same conversation. We didn't take any time. I just hit
Okay,
pause.
my huge question was.
John's got a giant question.
It's gonna be the who would you rather, dead or alive? Who would you rather? I'll ask you, and you can ask me. Who would you rather what with?
Hear what with? Well, I asked about podcasting, and both of us said our parents
Did we
or our
already go
dads.
through there?
Yeah, we both said our dads, but like say, okay, somebody famous, dead or alive. Who's your favorite famous guy that you'd like to
All right,
sit down
all right,
and have
all
a beer with, or do
What
whatever?
Else, what else do we have left?
Who would it be? I'll get you there. Yeah, I'll get you there.
Who would it be?
Who would it be?
Oh, our mentors. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, like, well, I would first off, dead or alive, that thing still like would be like I said, my dad probably sit down and do a conversation with like that.
I know, we're both-
anytime, and it would still be that. It's always been that. But
We're both suckers for that. I know that.
famous people, man, I'd like to hear some road stories from Willie Nelson.
Ooh, Willie Nelson, that's a good one.
Willie'd be a good one.
Willie, what about fucking Johnny Cash?
Yeah, Johnny
What
Cash.
about
I wouldn't mind sitting down with like Tommy Lee.
Tom Petty?
Yeah, I mean any of those guys that have been around the block a bunch, or like Ozzy if I could understand him.
If you could.
Yeah, I mean that thing,
What about if you actually had the chance to sit around with Waylon, Johnny, Chris Christopherson,
And Merle.
and Merle?
Oh yeah, could you imagine the stories?
Could you imagine the recording studio?
Yeah, it'd be fun.
It'd be smoky.
I bet it would be. Yeah,
And it would be terrible weed. It'd be terrible weed.
terrible weed.
Back then, it's
Brick
probably
weed.
terrible weed. But they had it.
So
But they also had cocaine that was uncut.
on another side, other than the cocaine and the weed, who have been your biggest influences?
Tom Petty.
Tom Petty is one of them.
Tom Petty easy.
I like Tom
Dude.
Petty, man. He's
Tom Petty easily. Don't. Are you
you're a lot
kidding me?
like Tom Petty. Got a face only a mother could love.
Yeah, I got a giant face. Yes.
I can't bash on Tom Petty. He's a stud.
Tom Petty is one of those guys that there's nothing you can say against him that won't even bring me down. Break down.
Chris Cornell was one of my biggest
Chris
as far as
Cornell,
influences like that.
Chris Cornell is the best.
He was a stud, and it's sad to see him
I
go.
saw Chris Cornell in concert.
But then again, there's always the Metallica. Dude, I like...
I saw Chris Cornell open for Metallica.
Metallica is one of the greatest bands
Just so you know.
ever known.
I saw Chris Cornell open for Metallica in Seattle at Memorial Stadium.
A lot of Pearl...
Bang!
No kidding. I mean, a lot of Pearl
Beat
Jam.
that,
I like a
anyone.
lot of Pearl Jam from back in the day. And it's one of those bands, and I love Pearl Jam. Don't get me wrong. Don't take this as me not liking Pearl Jam. But I played them so much, those original hits, and the ones that I find myself constantly looking for new music all the time. That's just the way my brain works. And,
And that's
lately,
what
one of my
they
big
do.
influences has
That's
been
why they do what they do.
like the Dirty Heads. Man, the Dirty Heads, they crush. They were they're kind of a Sublime feel type of, but a new modern reggae.
And I spoke wrong before. When I spoke, I saw Soundgarden open for Metallica at Lollapalooza at the Gorge in George. I was wrong before. I saw in Seattle, I saw Candlebox the night before. And then it was the night before Alice in Chains, Lane Staley, went into rehab. So then the next night, I saw Candlebox open for Metallica again. I saw Candlebox like 3 times in a row, like 3 days in a row, because I just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
Speaking of
Granted, I missed Lane Staley because he went to rehab.
Speaking of guys that went to rehab, and I'm proud of it. You just sent me that video this morning.
Yeah.
Wes Scanlon, a puddle
That's
of
what
mud.
I'm talking about,
Puddle
buddy.
of mud. Puddle of mud was
Hey.
huge early 2000. Attaboy, Wes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right before he went into
We
jail
need
and
ya.
everything else,
We need you.
we literally seen him melt down on stage at Rockin' the Rivers.
One of the coolest things I've ever seen other than...
Me too. And don't get me wrong, I wanted to see a great concert from him, but it was almost
I
more
did
interesting
too.
to see. I got to meet him before that. We did a
I
meet and
wanted
greet
to
with
see
him.
him rocking. I wanted to see him rock it, but he didn't.
Carol and I met him right
He
before that,
couldn't-
and then he was so fucked up. He was on a bad path in life at that
It
point,
was one
and
of
he
the
went on
coolest-
stage,
It was
tipped
the
over
most rock and
speakers.
roll I've ever seen.
Half his ass was showing because he couldn't pull his pants up. The poor guy. It was
You know what I
rock and
wanted
roll,
to
but
do?
it was he. On that point, you were just sitting there hoping the best for him, going,
Yep.
"Don't fucking die, man. Go get yourself
Yeah.
straight." And he has. He's been 11 months sober now, and now
Awesome.
Puddle of Mud.
Awesome.
I agree. And now Puddle of Mud's back out touring again.
Awesome.
That takes and so this interviewer,
balls, man.
this interviewer asks him, and he goes, "So what made it happen?" He goes, "Well, I always knew that I was born to rock and roll, and that's what I wanted to do. I always wanted to rock and roll, and then things got in the way, the injuries and the other shit." And he goes, "And eventually, you got to kind of if that's what I want to do was rock and roll. I
Fucking
knew
love it, Wes.
I
man.
knew that I couldn't be making court dates here and there, and I had to fucking sober up. And now he is, and now he's out rocking with his band again. And goddamn, congratulations,
Yeah.
Wes. I hope the best for you, man."
I do too. All I can say is, man, Montana wants you, and you,
Because that guy can put on. I mean, he's got some
Oh, I
hits.
know.
He's got some fucking hits.
dude. Here's a message straight to Wes. If Wes happens to hear this at all, dude, Montana loves you, and all you gotta do is give us a call, and we will make this happen. We will make the Big Sky your Big Sky, and we can retribute what happened earlier. I think it's awesome, but not everybody thinks it's awesome.
Yeah, he got a lot of bad press out of that.
I think you should come here, and I think you should come to Malta, Montana, and I think you should come retribute yourself, if that's the right word for it. It's probably not. My point is, come on, man. Give us a call at...
Yeah, well, I'm not throwing my phone number out in fucking podcast land. That's plenty. I have about 7 people that need my phone number, and that's about it. Unless I call them.
Oh, what it was.
No, but yeah.
Anyways.
I'd like to make that concert happen. That would be cool. And I do some promotion. That would be a fun one to look into and try to do.
Right? Come on, there's some steps of rehab, and I think some of it is coming to Montana. And if you see us, you'll get why we're talking about what we're talking about, because we're just like you. Hey, Wes, we're just like you, and
I'm not just like him. I'm not a rich rock star.
hey, my point is, come see us, man. On your way through Montana, you come stick with us, and we'll show you a good time.
Johnny will definitely get you arrested again.
And I will definitely get arrested you.
Get arrested you? Yeah. Well, he's sober now, Johnny. He'd probably have a tough time hanging out with you.
I doubt it.
He could
I
probably
doubt
maybe
it.
he could set you straight.
He reminds me
Maybe
a lot of
he'd
me.
throw your ass on the wagon.
Watch, this next picture will show a lot of similarity.
You both have the half long hair.
See, you're an asshole and I'm an asshole. I don't know what else to say about it. She fucking hates me.
Yeah, well, that narrows it down. He wrote that fucking anthem to every guy that's ever been burned in their entire life.
Just like I said, she fucking hates me. I fucking hate her.
You know, I've got to the point that who cares if she fucking hates me because...
Wes, don't listen to
it
anything he
doesn't.
has to say. Just...
Come see Johnny. He would gladly blow you. I mean...
Oh, wait, no.
I'm kidding.
I have giant
John's
teeth.
he's about to fucking squirt a tear over here.
Come on, Wes. Come on, Wes.
So what were you talking about, Johnny, earlier? The instant gratification in the long run. Instant gratification is something that you throw yourself real quick, but then is it good for the long run?
It's because when you throw yourself out there and you think you've got it made and you think you've done well, it's hard to believe in yourself when you think you've done well and you throw yourself out there and you throw it out there and you throw it out there and nobody bites. Nobody bites. Nobody bites. It's hard to keep throwing yourself out there.
Very. And you're right, that instant gratification would be, this podcast has 1 million downloads right away. Here's a fucking cool story of instant gratification in the long run. So there's this guy I'm really working on. I think I'm going to do a comedy show with him probably next spring. We were going to try and make it happen this fall, but he's too booked now. His name's Brad Upton. He's 62 years old. He's
What an old balls.
Listen, dude. He's
I'm 42.
fucking hilarious.
He can eat it.
This guy's been crushing it for years. He's been a comedian for years, and he's been crushing it and just never really had the right break. And when I saw him at Big Sky Comedy Fest last year or year before, I can't remember, one or the other, and he was hilarious, just crushed. His style of comedy
I bet
fits.
it was probably old balls. It
No,
was
it
probably
was-
was it
listen.
Bill Cosby comedy?
Dude, come on, give him some fucking credit. It was funny. It was funny as fuck.
Hey, tell me
And
Bill Cosby wasn't funny.
Well, I know, but this guy ain't quite the same. And anyway, he was hilarious, and I knew right away, I was like, your comedy fits well up here in like where I bring comedians to. It would go over well. It's the kind of like how to get your kids to stop turning the radio kind of comedy. Anyway, just this last month, Dry Bar Comedy on Facebook puts out just a clip of one of his little bits, and it fucking went viral. Here in the last month, he went from nobody to 45 million fucking views on this thing. And then they put out another one, and the second one come out of over 25 million views. So he's been grinding and grinding and grinding as a comedian.
So what you're saying
He's had some fucking big moments. I'm sure. I mean, like he's a headliner comedian, but he's never really hit it.
Yeah, what are you saying? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you're saying. I get it
62 years old, and finally
exactly.
you go kabow. There it is.
I'm 42.
Yeah, you got 20 years to go before something like that fucking strikes.
Yeah,
So,
well, I'm nobody.
and he wasn't much either. He was a comedian, a traveling regular comedian,
Wes?
regular Joe.
Wes, all you have to do is make one stop
I'm
in
not
Montana.
talking about Wes anymore.
I am. I'm saying, Wes, one stop in Montana. You can make childhood dreams come true. All you gotta do is come.
Dude, you're older than Wes probably.
I'm sure I am.
How old do you think he is?
I don't care.
I'm going to look it up.
Don't
How old do you
care.
think he is?
I'll bet he's 30. I'll bet
No,
he's
he's older
32.
than that.
I'll bet he's 32. My point is, I saw him in Montana and I watched him do
Oh,
what
hey.
he did.
Wes is older than you. How old do you think he
Hey,
is?
there we go, my brother.
How old,
There
do you
we
think,
go.
how old do you think he is?
Then he's got to be older than 42.
Take a guess.
44.
46.
46.
I would have never guessed, man. He
All
looks
right,
fairly young
motherfucker.
still.
Then,
But
there's
then again, dude,
there's 12 steps of recovery, and one of them is
stop in Montana and fucking
stop
redeem
in
yourself.
Montana and redeem yourself, and you call Travis Rhodes and figure out.
Don't call John
when and
Hould. He
where.
doesn't answer his phone.
No, I do not. I hate people that don't know my number unless you
Well,
text me
dude,
first.
So we're up at the skate park last night, and I'm teaching
Wes,
these little kids.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding, Wes. You do this, and we will make you set.
John actually thinks that Wes is going to listen to our podcast. I mean, there's a chance, but... So anyway, on another subject of age, I'm up at the skate park last night, and I'm teaching these little kids, as like young as 6 years old, how to skate. And I'm 34 when I started skating. I'm about to turn 36. And the funny thing is there's an older guy up there. Well, not older. I didn't even say that old. But he's up there having a beer. And he goes, there ain't no way I'd ever do that. Blah, blah, blah. And I go, dude, Jeff Ament, the guy that built this park, is a fucking stud skater. He's 55 years old.
I heard he's kind of a badass.
He's as badass as you can become.
I don't know if he's much as bad as a Wes. You know.
Is Wes dropping hundreds of thousands of dollars in every town in his goddamn state to build
that's
skate
not what
parks?
I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Come on, Pearl Jam's twice as big as fucking
Hey,
Puddle of Mud. Puddle of Mud had,
My
what, 2
point-
albums?
My point is, I think Wes should come here and pull this off.
Johnny's pleading to our 7 listeners and thinking that Wes is going to hear us.
I know. I'm just saying.
They'll hear
I'm
it in the
just saying.
Philippines, and maybe Demi, you guys know Wes?
I'm just saying.
No, I'm just kidding.
saying. Maybe. Hey, you know what?
I like Puddle of Mud. Don't get me wrong.
Maybe
I loved when Puddle of Mud came out, man. They were crushing it.
maybe Jeff Ament will call Wes and say, "Hey,
I definitely know that Jeff
go to
is listening.
Malta. Go to Malta and do your show."
Jeff has heard an
On
episode
your way
of this.
through.
I know that Jeff has heard an episode.
I'm just saying.
not more,
maybe
but-
Jeff will say to Wes,
Wes, do you skate? No.
"Wes, hey, we're calling you out, buddy."
So next week, this is an awesome week. Next week, I've been waiting for it.
Travis
for quite a while.
Rhodes.
Next week is the annual Big Sandy Pig Roast and Skate Jam. What happens? Jeff brings up a bunch of his fucking buddies. He comes up because he's from Big
Don't
Sandy.
make everybody go there.
I'm not. I didn't tell, but so he brings up a bunch of pro skaters and all these guys, and they come all these skate parks he's been building. We're gonna stop in Lewistown the first night, then we go camp in Big Sandy, or we're gonna stay in Big Sandy.
Still
party at the
Montana
bar there.
Supreme, yeah.
And then on Sunday is a grand opening of the Box Elder skate park. He just
After
built a
they
skate
just-
park in Box Elder, Montana. That is mind-blowingly cool.
And they just got out of Belgium.
I know.
They've just been in Belgium.
Yeah, but he lives his time spent at home is spent in Missoula. He lives
can't
just outside of Missoula.
believe what he
And
does.
who wouldn't? So if you could live anywhere in the world and you got the choice of a badass house in Missoula or anywhere, I'd probably take that fucking house in Missoula. Maybe I'd have a beach house or two. Don't get me wrong. But Western
tough,
Montana is
Montana's,
some
yeah.
of the cool. All of Montana.
I would pick Montana any day.
Me too. If I ever make it huge,
God damn you.
say tomorrow, Ted Turner calls and says, I want the rights to the podcast. And I say, fuck you, Ted. I'm shopping this bitch out. No.
He'd
it
have
came
you
out-
fired right now.
A $10 million contract, $20 billion contract, let's say.
Oh,
I
Jeff
would
Amon's the
still,
man. Jeff
I'd
Amon's the
still
man.
build a fucking house in Montana.
Name
You
a
know what I
bigger-
do?
Name a bigger guy from Montana.
The guy that, well, not so much famous.
This actually
no,
been
listen,
here.
listen.
This raised from here.
The-
Not
what's-
just
yeah, I know,
came
yeah,
here.
I know.
Not just
The guy-
came here.
I can't think of his first name, but the guy that built Washington Grizz Stadium
Oh,
is
come on.
ridiculously huge. He's not famous
Come
like
on.
that.
No.
Dana Carvey?
Dana Washington.
Dana Carvey.
Washington.
You know Dana Carvey.
I do know Dana Carvey.
He's out of Montana.
Yeah, he's a Canadian.
He's from Montana.
Dana
Man. He's
Carvey.
hilarious.
Dana Carvey is a
Man,
Canadian.
quit spouting out facts you don't know.
Washington. Dennis Washington.
Dennis
is who you're
Washington. That's who I'm
to.
talking about. Dana Carvey came from Montana. Also,
Dana Carvey came from Canada.
Garth Algar off of fucking Wayne's World. Man, he's from.
I will swear to God on
Dude,
this
he's
one.
from Montana.
Man,
Dana,
hey,
listen to
if
this.
you're with
Time out.
me
Hey.
on this one,
Johnny.
come meet me at the Montana.
Johnny, stop yelling into the mic and let me just read Wikipedia page for you. Dana Carvey was born in Missoula, Montana, the son of Billy Dahl, a school teacher, and Bud Carvey, a high school business teacher.
I don't believe it.
Period. He's born in Montana.
I don't believe it.
Fucking don't.
Fake news.
Easy, Trump. So anyway, Garth.
So
Garth is
anyway,
from Montana.
yeah, hey.
That's another one. So you asked who the
My
biggest,
point
most
is-
famous Montanans are.
So if you guys would like to prove Travis wrong or me wrong, I suggest you give us a list and we'll make the date.
Jeez Louise, nobody. I'm using
Dude,
facts.
what could be better than in Montana and
Evil Knievel. Evil Knievel's probably the most
I'm
famous
saying,
Montana, right?
What could be better than Evil Knievel days and giving us the facts, and you can treat us right or wrong, whatever. I dare you. I dare you. to treat us wrong. Because we will treat you so good that you will have no idea what happened.
Who you think? Would you
I
say?
don't
Would you say
know.
Evel Knievel's the most famous
Hey,
Montanan?
here's what I'm gonna make you boo me. Chris Cornell won't be here.
That's sad. Fuck, nobody's showing up if you're inviting them, John. They just heard
I
your
know.
rant.
I booed myself.
Wes
on
is
that
going,
one.
God damn it.
I know. I booed myself on that one. But fuck you. God damn it, Wes. You're getting called out. You're called out. On this
Jeanette
one.
Rankin was the first woman elected to Congress. That's fairly famous. Dorothy Baker, an artist. Chet Huntley, he's from Saco. He was a journalist, TV newscaster. But I'd probably still have to go back to, I mean, Jeff's huge. He's a stud.
Come on,
Dana
Wes.
Carvey's big. But
Wes.
I'd have to say Evel Knievel for sure.
You know, there's something about healing.
Stop fucking pleading to Wes.
Oh, bullshit. Dude, that's one of my favorite singers of all time.
I know, but it's not, he's
You know
not tuned
why?
in.
You know why that's one of my favorite singers of all time? Is because I understand.
Our listeners are going, man, Johnny's got a man crush.
I do. A little bit. I
I've
do.
got a man
I do.
crush.
I get it. Dude, when I saw him at the Rock on the Rivers, and he had a hard time.
He had a full-on meltdown.
Yes, he did. And you know what?
He went full Johnny on that one. Never go full Johnny.
I know. Never go full Johnny, and I'm Johnny. But you know what I did? I went, you know what? That's awesome. That's rock and roll. That is,
It was. It truly was, and that's what I thought too. You and I were sitting there together going,
That's rock and roll, man. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
he had a bad day in Sturgis the day before, might have got his arm broke. I don't know
I
what
don't
happened.
give
Got
a
his ass
crap
kicked.
what happens. That's what you risk with rock and roll singers. And guess what? That's what happened. And that's what just happened to happen. I don't know. What do you say? You say, all right, that's awesome. That's
It was fun to
rock
watch.
and roll.
I'm not going to lie to you, Wes. That was fun to watch.
I loved it, man. I stuck up for Wes. For
I did too.
I was like, man, I don't give a crap what anybody says. That was the coolest thing I've ever seen. That's rock and roll.
And don't get me wrong, in the back of my head, the whole time I'm going, that fucker needs help.
in the back of his head was the fucking tip of my
No,
penis.
it wasn't fucking John. God damn it. Always taking it dirty. But I'm telling you, I was hoping for the best for him, and it's good to see that he came out sober. One of the,
Johnny or Wes?
You ain't fucking sober. Listen to this podcast. With that, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with some fucking more fun topics, and John will quit blowing Wes. Montarctica.com. All right, everybody, we're back. Quick little break, and it's kind of a, short podcast. Like Johnny said, we started before noon, and it's that's about the earliest I think a podcast has ever started in this fucking place.
First time ever.
But, one thing I've been doing, so, like I said, you kind of pepped me up this morning and got me out and rolling. I've
Couldn't help it.
I've sort of been feeling down. Not really down on my luck. Well, partially on my luck. You get ripped off from a friend or two, and
I'm
then
not gonna let one of my fucking buddies
and then you've been doing
sit
shit.
around feeling bad.
Well, and then
I'm
you-
just not gonna do it.
And I mean, I've still been working. I've still been
grinding.
grinding. Don't get me wrong, but like
It's not my style.
that spark and the inspiration wasn't quite there. I'm a little motivated now. I feel it.
I love my
but
brothers.
Feeling down. When I get to feeling down like that, I'd rather just not see anybody.
I'd rather shoot a cop than see one of my brothers down and out.
That's a big statement.
Oh, just saying.
But like I said, that's part of the reason I do what I do is I as much of a people person as I seem like, I love hiding out because then I don't get fucked with. I mean,
So
I don't get betrayed. I don't get
What
one
you're
way or
saying is
another.
exactly what I just said.
Yeah. But so then I start diving deep and I go to sleep at night, or I try to go to sleep at night, and I'll lay in bed and watch crazy shit about aliens. And do you think aliens are real?
Then you feel. I think aliens are real.
Do you think they've
I
ever
think dreams are more real than aliens.
Dreams are freaky. Where's your conscience go when we dream? I mean, like
I'm just saying.
we don't even know because, like we were just talking earlier,
Prove it.
even if we did DNA, you go back like 200 years, and that's ancient times, damn near.
I don't know. I won't say one way or another because
I'm not either. I watch it.
I don't know anything.
So I've been reading this book. It's called Secret Machines, and the guy Tom DeLonge of Blink-182. He's always been one of those guys that was kind of a skeptic. Started diving into the alien stuff and all the secret government conspiracy shit when he was on the bus, and all he talked about was like how I learned is I was always on the bus just researching weird shit because that's what keeps your mind going. Well, turns out he says he's been contacted by like former government officials and all this, and well, he goes and writes this book, and this book is it's
Tom
called
DeLonge's
Secret.
an alien.
It's called Secret Machines. He's not an alien, but he writes this book. It's actually a fiction book, but based on facts, and he calls it like it's going to be full disclosure. He wants to eventually disclose
know why they're
what
so
some shit's
good at
going
what
on
they're
and
doing.
what Area 51's doing. And the weird thing is last week I'm reading this book.
Was Blink
And-
182 and their Area
No.
151?
No, listen, and I'm reading this book, and they're talking about like,
don't
and
know,
I
the
believe this.
numbers match.
I believe that back at Area 51, they probably have some supersonic planes that we've never seen. I mean, obviously the government
Oh,
does some secret
there-
shit
there's
all the
things
time.
that none of us know.
As a country, Germany was doing it back in the day. Russia's probably
We're
working on
talking
it.
about it. That means it's fake.
Yeah, well, so all of that's going down, and I'm reading this book, and then suddenly I come across a YouTube video that's completely unrelated, and they're talking about the exact same fucking plane. And so you start wondering, and both of them are like
Where do you go
former
from here?
ex-government official type, they claim,
yeah,
but who to
yeah.
believe and who not to. But it sure is fun to wrap your mind around these conspiracy
I know who
theory
to
shit
believe.
like this.
I believe me.
Yeah, I guess I do
seen
too.
I've seen shit that I don't believe is normal. I've seen things that
We're in such a vast universe, we literally
I've
have
seen-
no clue.
I've seen things that came across my sky that made no sound,
So we're the size.
followed by a jet that made the biggest sound. You know, like a jet that comes by that goes
Yeah.
whoosh, whoosh.
I've never heard a jet come before, but you just made one.
Maybe I did it wrong, but there was like a giant light, and then all of a sudden it was followed by, which seemed to me to be an F-17 or a F-16 or whatever the Americans have to follow the foo.
Yeah.
My point is, I couldn't believe it. There was a light that went in front of me
Racing by.
that
You know
made no sound whatsoever, but it was followed by
Well-
an excruciating sound in my ears. It almost popped my eardrums
What
because
makes-
it was so loud and so fast. It almost hurt.
What makes it weird is like you go out at night, like you sit out at the cabin and lay on where it's completely dark, and you lay and you look up at the sky and how many stars there are, and if each one of those stars has even a planet or two around them,
You know how
and you
far
wonder.
those stars are.
And we can
from
only
us?
see a few of the stars. We can't see them all because our eyes suck compared to
The
the
closest star from us
scale
is like a billion light years away from us.
yeah. And how do we even? It's
We
weird,
have
man.
no-
It's
we have
so
no
weird.
closure on this.
There's not, and it's fun to ponder, man. It's fun to lay awake at night and ponder into shit like that and look into it. And man, it'd be crazy to find out. Who knows in this lifetime what we're going to come up with, as fast as things are advancing and as
It's ridiculous how fast things progress.
what's it called? Moore's law? Is that what it's called? That
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anything what you believe. It doesn't matter anything what you believe.
that's what. Yeah, Moore's law is the observation that the number of transistors in a dense integrated circuit doubles about every 2 years. So like what we can do computer-wise almost doubles almost every 2 years, and what it's doing right now. And it started in 1965 when they started talking about this.
I don't
stuff.
think it matters anything what you believe.
No,
It
don't
matters
know.
what you see. It matters what you see, and then you.
but
believe.
then again, you sit back and look. What are our eyes programmed to see? We can't see infrared.
yeah, but
You can't see ultraviolet.
not everything.
Who knows
is right
how
in
much
front of
more-
your
well,
eyes.
exactly. You
Not
can't see an
everything is
atom.
right in front of your eyes. It's you can't believe everything that you see. You can't believe everything you see, and you can't believe everything you don't see.
No, because it's pretty
It's-
easy. I got a green screen in here. I could make you look like you're standing at the Alps right now.
I agree. But I don't know. I don't know that the people from anywhere else but here know your technology.
It makes you wonder. And I mean, are there different dimensions? Or what's your
Of course
brain
there's
do?
different dimensions.
The fuck's
Of
your brain do?
course
I
there's-
mean, there's psychedelics and other drugs that'll take you a
Yeah.
completely different place. But
Just-
what is
Just eat an ounce of mushrooms for 3 days.
An ounce? Jesus Christ.
Try it in 3 days. See what happens.
Well, that's a heroic dose for sure.
Well, I'm still here. What I meant to say was,
So
I
so
heard
no
there
wonder
was-
no wonder why you're in love with Wes Scantlin, because I know when this happened.
what I meant to say was, I'm still here, and yes, I do love Wes Scantlin, and he should come to Malta, Montana. If he doesn't, I think he's a pussy. I think he's not doing his duty. All right, Wes. This is a plea from John Denver.
Hey, we said we weren't gonna fucking plead to Wes anymore.
I know, I said I wouldn't, but this is a plea from John Denver. I think you should come here. I think you'd have a good time. I think your bandmates would have a good time, and I think you should do it. And whether you do it or not, it's up to you.
And if you're sober, John's gonna have to teach you how to fish or something.
Or teach me how to be sober.
Yeah, maybe that would be the trick. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe he doesn't need it. Maybe he needs to come here for you, not for
Whatever, man.
Wes. Come show John the ropes. Because
John Denver.
John could be a true rock star. Man, you ever sit back and wonder, like, the wrong turns you've taken? What could have been? Do you got any regrets of any sort that some days you wonder? Like, I mean, you've written some fucking killer songs, John.
That's what I hear.
That's what I hear. You don't even remember them? They're probably not, huh?
Hey,
No.
I'm good at some things.
Well, that's what I mean. You ever wonder? Taking a
I
wrong turn?
wonder why they're so good. I wonder why they're so good, and I never know exactly why they're so good. I don't know. It would certainly make my life fulfilled if I found out somebody actually liked my songs.
Well, there's people that actually like your songs.
I know.
It's whether you can continue to play them correctly or...
That's fine. That's fine. But they're not.
Get 'em out to
That
the right
doesn't make
people.
me money. I give it out. I give it because I love to make people happy.
Yeah?
Tell me, explain to me how to not just make people happy. Tell me how to make that money.
Have Wes Scantlin sing one of your songs.
That's right.
No.
That's right. I guarantee you. Then I'd start making money.
Who knows? I hope they got a new album coming out, he said, soon. Hopefully.
No, I'm just
Hopefully
saying.
they kick ass. Hopefully it's...
He's one of those guys that he's just like me. I guarantee you, he's a lot like me.
with a little more drive.
With a little more drive. He is a lot like me though.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about what paths lives take. And do you wonder, like,
She fucking hates me.
that I don't know what the law or what it's called, but the one that says that every decision, every action that's been made is spanned out all the way across the universe, no matter what. Like, say if
Every
back
action
in
has
the,
a reaction?
No, back in the day, like, say if there was a girl that talked to you and you didn't talk to her, that decision was made differently in a different dimension. Where
Butterfly
you,
effect?
yeah, no, butterfly effect is where if a butterfly flaps its wings, it affects everything further down the road. But you always wonder.
I'm just trying to get those
You look
guys
back on your life and you
together.
wonder certain decisions you've made of how big of an influence they eventually played down the road. I mean, like the movie Back to the Future. You know, he damn near could have been his own dad, type of. You know.
You know, I almost love what you said until you said the butterfly effect.
You said the butterfly effect.
That's right. Son of a bitch. Wes, see, come prove me wrong.
Fuck. Get off Wes's nuts. He's fucking sick of dangling them.
Too late. Too late. He's got to own it now. Hey, speaking of Wes,
If he
owning
doesn't
my
hear
nuts-
this last 30 minutes of the podcast has been straight to nobody. So,
Hey, we got to take a... I got to piss. Like a madman.
well, should we just end this podcast?
Yeah.
Let's get out
Whatever's
of here.
clever,
We
man.
did one early on a Friday. Early.
I don't
gotta
know
work
what
at the
we're
Mint
going to
tonight.
do for the rest of the day.
It's weird, huh? Timmy, you guys rock. Thanks for sending us new music.
Yes,
Johnny?
thank you.
Thanks for rousting me out this
Hey.
morning and making me do a podcast.
That's right.
We'll be
that's
back
right.
this week with another podcast with Ty Salisbury on Monday. This one touched on some subjects that been kind of touchy. Some things have been weighing on my brain for a while. I feel Johnny's too, and we got him out there, apparently. So whether you enjoy it or not, this has been a Montarctica podcast, montarctica.com.